The ex-boyfriend of Kiely Rodni, the 16-year-old missing girl out of Truckee, California, his name is Jagger Westfall. Jagger has obviously had enough. He is setting the record straight on TikTok and closing off his comment section. He is tired of being falsely accused. According to Jagger, he never dated Sammy Smith, as the rumors going around social media are saying, and he's going to talk about where he was the night that Kylie went missing. He's going to declare, look, I was 4 hours away, I was with my dad, and Jagger has deleted the video he put up on TikTok previously about Kylie that caused a bunch of controversy. We can talk about all that and why I'm giving Jagger and Sammy Smith the benefit of the doubt. In my previous video, I showed you where Jagger posted on TikTok just more than 24 hours after Kiely Rodni went missing in the early morning hours of Saturday, August 6th, when she attended this party that sounds like it got out of hand at Prosser Family Campground. So Jagger back then had posted on TikTok, if anyone has seen Kiely Rodni or her 2013 silver CRV in the Reno Tahoe area, call me. Call me, he had written atop her photo, a bunch of photos, a little video montage. He wrote she has been a missing person for over 24 hours. And in the description of the video on TikTok, he had written, any info will help. At this point, I believe he meant, she was last seen at Prosser Lake around 1:30, most likely drunk driving. If anyone has anything on her, please come forward. You are not facing any charges. When this case about missing teen Kiely Rodni went viral, I first heard about it on Sunday, August 7th. I made a video on TikTok, and back then, from what I was researching, people online were saying that Kylie was last seen or heard from around 1:30 a.m., just like Jagger had written. In the week since then, law enforcement has narrowed it down to a specific time, 12:33 a.m. At least that's when Kylie's phone went off the grid. I'm not sure where the 1:30 a.m. timeline came from. I'm assuming Jagger was just repeating what he had heard. And you know how things go around, it might be misinformation when people are trying to figure out, okay, who last heard from her? The controversy really amped up when one person had written, call Placer County Sheriff, not Jagger's number. Jagger had written, me or the sheriff. We are all working in the same thing, and the sheriff would like me to filter through any info I can before it gets to them. Where did Jagger hear that Kylie was most likely drunk driving? Assume this is info that was passed on to him as well. This is sort of the same narrative that Sammy Smith had been promoting, where she said, you know, if you guys are teens and you don't want to tell law enforcement, come to me. I'm wondering if any cop told them to do this. Now we know in investigations, law enforcement, they are allowed to lie to anyone just to get information out of them. I don't know if Sammy and Jagger were told, sure, if the teens will come to you, that's fine. Give them your number. I'm not sure if Jagger did this because Sammy was doing this, or we don't know where it came from. Jagger is fighting back against all the hell he's catching after really coming forward publicly with Fox 40 News. We talked about before, someone had said, with all due respect, are you working at Placer County Sheriff Department? Because the presser said all tips go to Placer PD, that's it. And Jagger clapped back and said, with all due respect, do you know Kylie? So he didn't answer that question. It would be nice if he had just said, this is exactly what the sheriff told me. Placer County Sheriff has definitely come back and said, this is false, these are the tip lines, you guys have seen it before. But now, Jagger kept catching so much heat, apparently. I understand why he deleted the video of Kylie, because it had his cell phone number right there in the video. I don't think you can probably blur things on TikTok, so he just deleted the whole thing. Last time I checked, it was up to nearly 9,000 views before he deleted it. people were probably texting him and calling him and giving him a lot of backlash. So now he's closed off the comments, as people have advised him to do on several of his TikTok videos, so he can just keep his car videos up and not be bothered by people. But I did get some screenshots before he deleted the comments and closed them off. Jagger stated, "I never dated Sammy, I dated Kylie." So I'm not certain where the rumor came from that Jagger had allegedly dated Sammy in the past, and people were thinking, is this a jealousy thing? Is this a love triangle thing? And Jagger really exploded when he said, "Everyone is just using my comment section as a way to F up my life when I didn't do ish." Jagger is saying, look, I did not do anything. One person had told him, "Deep breaths, man. A lot of people assume these things because of you putting yourself in the public eye and being so involved with the investigation." So people are like, oh, ding, ding, ding. They're so involved with this investigation. Why? Why are they overly involved? I've already given you my theory about Sammy, which may be right or wrong. I will explain why I'm being so cautious with these young adults and why I feel compassion for them. At the same time, I want Kylie found. Jagger had written, "Okay, leave me alone. I don't have to explain myself to you." Another person said, "Just keep doing your best to find her on your own and point every single other person to the sheriff." So, they're telling Jagger, this is the way you go about it. Maybe not in the way you and Sammy attempted to go about it. It felt like diverting tips away from the police. And maybe the young people didn't see it that way, but that is the way some people received it. Someone had asked Jagger, "Why did you delete the video about Kylie?" And Jagger said, "Because I was getting hundreds of comments saying I was responsible for her disappearance, and I'm just trying to find her, but it's kind of hard when..." He trailed off without finishing that sentence. And he even clapped back at people like me. I wonder why he used that song Forever, Heroin Father, as the soundtrack to one of his car videos. Because that song speaks of, always on my own, I'm alone, do you trust me, and all this, like a lonely type of song. I wondered if he was heartbroken. Jagger said, "For anyone saying that it's odd that I posted this the day Kylie went missing, then look at the sound. It's literally a car trend. I did, and I searched and I saw, okay, yeah, people do use this song for car videos and other videos. It's very popular. Perhaps I was reading too much into the lyrics. I'm a person who's big on lyrics. Some people barely listen to the lyrics and they just listen to the beat." Jagger also wrote, "I don't understand how you guys can be so sick to make threats and spread false info of anyone involved in Kylie's case or anyone else's. Sick people." So he's really putting it out there. And he talks about accusations versus hope. Someone questioned him about, "Why were you saying you would be the one to find her and such?" And he's saying, "That's not an accusation, it's me showing hope." And someone had written, "I hope she is found alive for you and everyone else that knows and cares about her, bro. Stay positive and keep your head up no matter what happens." Not everyone thinks Jagger is this suspicious figure. Someone wrote, "I just said it was ironic, bro. You made the statement. She is alive and you would find her. That's some crazy accusations." So people questioning things. And Jagger, that's when he wrote, "That's not an accusation, it's me showing hope." Jagger was telling Fox 40 News, "I think she's still alive. I'm hoping me, 2-3 other people will find her." He was showing hope. And people are talking about the fact that Jagger's final words to Kylie were, "Be safe, don't do anything stupid." That's what Jagger Westfall told Fox 40 News on Wednesday. "Those were my last words to her. I don't know where she is. We don't have anything to go off of at this point, but I fully believe she's alive and well." So he's saying, look, that's me showing hope. In another set of deleted comments and questions on Jagger's TikTok account, someone had written, "Fair enough, you weren't even at the party, were you?" Jagger liked that comment and he said, "No, I literally live 4 hours away and was with my dad." Someone else had written, "I mean, that's what happens when you put your 2 cents in, Papa." Another person had advised Jagger, "Truly, honey, you need to just sit back and tell them to find a way to clear you, do whatever they've got to do so that they can move on. I don't know if cops really ever tell you publicly, okay, these are in the clear. Maybe they do, maybe they did back in the day. This person's cleared, that person's not. Until the cops publicly name someone as a person of interest, or if they ever do arrest someone, we don't know. I mean, I finally dug up that police scanner info where it did seem like the person in Reno was claiming maybe Kylie was spotted, and that was a bust. The sheriff's office said no. We've seen where Adventures with Purpose might swing back through California. If Kylie still isn't found, they might swing back through California, Adventures with Purpose. That would be great. I hope it's not needed. Maybe they will be the ones that find her. And that's what leads me to, heaven forbid, but what if Kylie and her Honda are somewhere in the bottom of some body of water with her phone that searchers just haven't found yet? And that's what I'm keeping in my mind as an open possibility, even as people really do go in on Sammy. Maybe Sammy more so than Jagger, maybe equally. And, I hope Sammy speaks out too, in defense of herself too. Mags' sister has been speaking out a bit on Facebook. According to her, Mags, who is Magdalene, definitely went together to the party with Kylie. Now, as far as the friendship between Kylie and Sammy, Mags' sister says she only knew that they're just new friends and not what she would consider close at all, because Kylie has a very tight-knit group of friends. I've watched people run with assumptions, maybe misinterpret words, just because Mags' sister said, well, Kylie and Sammy aren't too close. It doesn't mean they didn't know each other. I don't know if Sammy ever even called herself Kylie's best friend. But words are really important, and some of the words are kind of getting mixed up. For example, one person asked, is there a confirmed timeline from law enforcement directly? The Placer County Sheriff's Office said, the only timeline we have is Kylie's screenshot from a Truckee store at 6:08 p.m., so I'm assuming they mean that surveillance photo we've seen, on August 5th, Friday. That's before the party. And her phone going off the grid around 12:33 a.m. on August 6th. So that would be early Saturday morning. Due to the fact that's what the sheriff's office wrote, 6:08 p.m. to 12:33 a.m. Again, people are making the assumption, well, does that mean Kylie never texted her mom? Did she never call Sammy? Did she never do all these things? We don't know if the sheriff has confirmed any of that or if they just left it off this comment. We won't know until we see some kind of arrest affidavit or something. But Jagger from Napa is speaking out, and I hope Sammy speaks out more in defense of herself. Now, one person on Facebook said the things Sammy is saying are not matching her friend's stories from that night, and she can't seem to give the same answer more than once. This isn't making any sense. Someone had to have seen her leave at the least. And that person even updated her comment saying, I now realize it may seem as if I'm blaming Sammy. I'm not trying to at all. I'm just saying this is shady. Hopefully Sammy will keep speaking out just like Jagger is doing in order to give more of the side of the story, answer questions people are making assumptions about that might be incorrect. I am very cautious. I understand that we might see things that might look quirky, but I'm very cautious about calling people shady, trying to hold them up as some kind of suspect. I see people here calling them suspects and all sorts of things. I learned my lesson with the Shane Carey case. Shane Carey was the fiance of Heidi Broussard, a woman who unfortunately was not found alive, was in the trunk of a car. Turns out her best friend, Megan Fieramushka, did it. So Heidi went missing with her little beautiful baby. Thankfully, the baby was okay. But Shane Carey gave the weirdest interview, and I don't know if there were substances involved. The interviewer wasn't great because they kept having Shane do all these things like move the phone down and do this and do that, and Shane was already upset. I don't know what all was going on, and people were coming out and telling these horror stories about Shane. I'm very cautious about not jumping on an angry mob bandwagon when it comes to cases like this. People could throw all this vitriol and accusations at Sammy and Jagger, and then lo and and behold, the next day we might find, oh, Kylie was being held in some unknown person's home off in Sacramento or somewhere. Whatever. Someone we've never even heard of. Maybe some guy who spotted her. We have these alleged photos of the party coming out. Supposedly there were photos on Snapchat, but we know those disappear. So I hope cops got some of those closer to the time of the party, and maybe that's why we don't see a lot on Instagram. We don't see a lot of party photos. Maybe, but the cops have hundreds allegedly of videos and photos because maybe those are the ones people still had on their phone. Maybe they didn't want to really publish them. People are very aware of their online reputations now, especially young people looking for jobs. Maybe they didn't publish them, or maybe they published them to a point where it's like, okay, this will disappear and that's how I want it to be. The Shane Carey case, I thought it was weird. I'm like, he's swaying just like Chris Watts. Just because we had just come off of the Chris Watts case, people were thinking, this guy's weird. People are saying stuff about him who claim to know him. They were saying he probably did it. But turns out her quote unquote best friend did it. We had no idea. Even if I never say anything slanderous or libelous about a person, I still think about them having to walk around town with this cloud of suspicion on them until the real culprit is found. I just can't go hard on anyone. I want them to speak out, tell what they know. We can talk about discrepancies and stuff, but I also always want to leave room for what if. What if this story turns out like Shane Carey, some other person you never expected? Let's close with 1 Corinthians 3:18 through 23. Let no one deceive himself. If anyone among you thinks that he is wise in this age, let him become a fool, discarding his worldly pretensions and acknowledging his lack of wisdom, so that he may become truly wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness, absurdity, stupidity before God. It is written in Scripture, He is, and again of the humanly wise. So let no one boast in men about their wisdom, or having this or that one as a leader. For all things are yours, whether Paul or Apollos or Cephas, Peter, or the world or life or death, or things present or things to come. All things are yours, and you belong to Christ, and Christ belongs to God. So we wait. We try and pick out what we can. We grab whatever evidence we can, but I'm very cautious not to just run with things. I don't want to ever falsely blame anyone for anything. I want to examine their words. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And I just want to see what the cops say about what they know. Another thing they did state is they're not telling us everything they know. It sounds like they were feeling a little hopeless. They don't even know where the haystack is, let alone the needle. But that doesn't mean they're not going to get a break and find Kylie. So thanks for watching. I hope that helps explain why I'm reticent about jumping on bandwagons, adopting a mob mentality about pointing out shady people, because the thing is, you want them to keep talking and you want to give all of us the presumption of innocence. Take care.